from being dropped from movies to facing financial ruin. These are the untold truths about Hollywood's biggest comebacks. In the cutthroat world of Hollywood, where looks, status, and connections often take center stage, it's no surprise that many actors have experienced their fair share of failures and setbacks. However, some lucky few have managed to make remarkable comebacks, bouncing back from the brink of obscurity to become bona fide stars. But behind the scenes, the road to their triumphant return was often paved with challenges, controversies, and personal struggles. Keanu Reeves' career began in the early 1980s, when he landed small roles in several films, including Youngblood, River's Edge, and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Cameron Diaz rose to fame in the 1990s with her roles in films like The Mask, My Best Friend's Wedding, and There's Something About Mary. They faced numerous obstacles and setbacks throughout their careers, but they never gave up on their dreams. With hard work, determination, and a little bit of luck, they were able to make a triumphant return to the spotlight. She quickly became one of Hollywood's most sought-after actresses. However, by the early 2000s, Diaz's career began to decline. The secret truth about Pamela Anderson's rise to fame. She took a break from acting to focus on her personal life. In 2014, she made a comeback with the film Sex Tape. The film was a critical flop, but it marked Diaz's return to the big screen. Since then, she has appeared in several other films, including Annie, The Other Woman, and the recent Netflix film Don't Look Up. In 1988, he was cast as Ted Logan in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. The film was a sleeper hit, and Reeves' goofy and lovable portrayal of Ted made him a fan favorite. But despite the film's success, Reeves' career did not take off as expected. He continued to take on a variety of roles in the early 1990s, but he was often overshadowed by his In 1993, Reeves was offered the role of Neo in the film The Matrix. At first, he turned down the offer because he was not impressed with the film's script. However, after some persuasion from his agent, he agreed to take on the role. The Matrix went on to be a massive success, grossing over $460 million worldwide. It also spawned two sequels, The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions. Throughout the 2000s, Reeves continued to work steadily in Hollywood, but he was often typecast as the brooding hero. In 2010, he made a comeback with the film Henry's Crime, a dark comedy crime film in which he played a man who was wrongfully convicted of a crime and sentenced to 15 years in prison. The film was a critical success, and reviewers praised Reeves for his versatility and comedic timing. Since then, Reeves has appeared in several other films, including Knock Knock, The Bad Batch, and the recent blockbuster hit John Wick. Here is the untold truth about Hollywood's biggest comeback. The first one is Sylvester Stallone, the iconic star of the Rocky and Rambo franchises, had humble beginnings in the industry. After studying theater in college, he moved to Hollywood in the 1970s, where he struggled to find work as an actor. To make ends meet, he took on odd jobs, including working as a janitor and a hairdresser. Despite his financial struggles, Stallone was determined to make it big in Hollywood. He saved up enough money to make a low-budget action film called The Party at Kitty and Gus Ed. Although the film was not a critical success, Stallone caught the attention of producer Irwin Winkler, who offered him a chance to write and star in a boxing drama called Rocky. The film went on to be a massive success, grossing over $200 million worldwide, and Stallone became an instant sensation. However, his success was short-lived, as his next several films were box office bombs. By the end of the 1980s, Stallone was considered a has-been in Hollywood. His personal life was also in shambles, as he was going through a messy divorce. But Stallone refused to give up. He took a break from the spotlight to focus on his personal life and to develop new projects. In 1990, he made a comeback with the film Cobra. The film was a moderate success, and critics praised Stallone for his performance. From there, Stallone went on to star in several other action films, including Demolition Man, Cliffhanger, and Assassins. In the late 1990s, Stallone's career began to decline again. But in 2006, he made a remarkable comeback with the film Rocky Balboa. The film was a critical and commercial success, grossing over $340 million worldwide. It was also a personal triumph for Stallone, who had overcome so much adversity to get there. Another one is Keanu Reeves. And last is Cameron Diaz. These are just a few examples of actors who have made remarkable comebacks in Hollywood. Now check out I Was Born This Way, celebrities with strange genetic disorders. Or watch She Made a Sex Tape.